Hey, welcome guys. It's your host Abdullah Patel. I'm back again, second straight week, as your host for this week's podcast. And yeah, we have a lot to discuss. So without further ado, I'll introduce our guest for today. So our first guest is no stranger to the podcast. It is Mr. Abdulaziz Khan.
Salam, everyone.
Walaikum salam. How are you doing, man?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You had a pretty good game on Friday, and interested to talk about it. You guys got a pretty good win against Iman. So yeah. But along with us is another non-stranger to the podcast, Mr. Yusuf Mohammed.
Well, boys, how's it going?
Welcome salam, man.
Alhamdulillah.
It's going good. It's going good. How are you doing?
I'm not doing well. Coming off a pretty big important win, so can't complain.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get more about your win over my team, but yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good game. So yeah, today we're gonna just talk about the week 5 recap and then going into our week 6. But before we get started, actually, um, we'd like to just highlight a contest that our Player of the Week sponsor Nook Kitchen is hosting. So they're doing a raffle contest to win a CCM Pro FT7 hockey stick. It's priced around $300, and the winner will be selected randomly. So it's for the Islam community. So definitely, I'll actually paste the link um, in the chat. But yeah, basically, this is what the raffle is. They've asked us to share it. So everyone, feel free to enter. Feel free to share it around. Try to get as many people signed up, and you might be the lucky winner of this. So the link is here. We'll also send the link in the WhatsApp chat. But yeah, we'll get started. So we'll get started for the first game of the evening. It was a Haya 2-0 win over Rida. This game, it was a very even game. Like, there was really only one goal scored against the goalie. The second goal for Haya was an empty netter from Amar Wasif, where he really literally walked it into the net. But it was 0-0 at halftime, and it was a really back and forth game. Yahya Kotiwala had a couple of close shots. Same with Bully for Rida, and Haya was using a backup goalie. So yeah, the first start of the game, Rehan Chagani, who Yusuf is pretty familiar with him. He's a Dynamo goalie.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Pretty cool.
really strong goalie. Very hard to score on. So Yusuf knows, but yeah, Haya was in luck with him in net. And he ended up getting the first star with the shutout. So yeah, in the second star, it's Salim Malik who had the game-winning goal. And we actually have a video of that, and the videos actually worked this week, alhamdulillah. But yeah, he got the second star, and Fahim Degmaster with the third star from Mida. So another, you can tell it's a pretty big goaltending performance. But Abdulaziz, did you catch this game?
Yeah. I actually caught a good chunk of this game. It was a really entertaining game, like you said. It was really tight. I saw the first goal that Salim potted in. Obviously, I was at the other end of the ice, but from there onwards, even though it was just a 1-0 lead, both teams' like defensive core was playing phenomenal, and it was remarkable to see like both of the goalies also battle it out. So both of these teams, we know they have the firepower for offense, but they also showcase that defensively they're very sound, and it kind of reflected in the game, which was very evenly going back and forth. There was very good chances for both teams, and just the goalie stood on their heads.
Yeah, for sure. And so have you guys played Rida yet this season?
Yeah, we played them game one. We won 5-3. But obviously that game, as far as I recall, I think it was the usual issue with Rilla. Their guys were coming in after every whistle. So we did take advantage of that when we had played them in week one. But we're obviously can't underestimate them. They're a team with solid players. We're looking forward to playing them again after the Ramadan break.
For sure. And Yusuf, did you catch this game at all?
No, but we did play them second week. But same issue. They were, I think, two guys on the bench. We beat them 9-3. Not really. kind of indicative of their talent. But I want to say like this game, having it be so close, like I didn't see it, but Haya's in second place. They're a pretty good team. They shut us out 3-0. So the fact that Rida was able to, a team being in sixth place, able to kind of, keep up with them and only allow one on an actual goalie, it's just impressive. So I think they're getting their footing. Probably going to try to go out with a bang with these last two, and then just full throttle after Ramadan.
Yeah. So Haya's actually on a 3-game win streak now. And they look really really good actually. Like the team is gelling. They got guys like Altaf Panchadi and Rehan. Rayan Khawaja. Rayan was actually not here this week, and I don't know if Altaf was here this week either. But they have a very 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 solid core, and I think Luke and Akib drafted a very very well team. Still kind of like a Mullik team, but they got the guys that they wanted. The young guys with speedy legs, and that's kind of making the difference for them this season. So they have the least amount of goals allowed. And yeah, they're scraping out games. So this is going pretty good. And we actually have a goal that we'll play. This was the game-winning goal from Salim Malik. So yeah, honestly, even the state of the goal, that was like at the red line and just banked it off in front, and that ended up being kind of the decider in the game. So a very very good kind of goaltending performance from both goalies. And yeah, kind of moving into the next weeks, and I think both of these teams are going to be teams to watch out for. So yeah. So yeah, we have Luke in the chat saying they were missing their top 3 picks. So yeah, that's a pretty
Very
big
impressive.
loss,
So yeah.
and they were still able to take the win away from Rida. So yeah, really really good performance from them. And shout out Luke, shout out Haya for that good win. We'll move into the second game. Abdulaziz, this was your game. And you guys beat Iman 4-3. This game was back and forth. Like this one was an absolute battle. I caught, I think, almost all of the game before I had to go and change. But yeah, this game, a lot of penalties, or I don't know if it was. Yeah, I think there are a few power plays. But it was back and forth, and you could really see, the Mohideen brothers kind of, with their speed versus Ihsan, who's in first place right now. They're just rolling, undefeated this whole season. But Abdulaziz, why don't you kind of just take us, take us through this game?
Yeah, for sure. I think we came out really strong. We knew obviously Iman has Yusuf Kapoor in the net, so we knew like we were gonna need to get those shots on him, get those high percentage rebounds, and continue working it down low because obviously that's the type of team we are. We like to get down low, work the cycle, etc. Forecheck hard. But I think, like you said, we had some bad penalties. I don't really recall if they took any bad penalties off the top of my head. But I think for us, it was again all of our offensive lines were clicking, and our defense is really really stable. They're not they can hold the ball in the zone, get the ball off the other team players. So our main goal in this game was obviously to contain Iman's speed because we know they have those speed and they had all their key players, but at the same time, we had those opportunities that presented themselves. Like Zahir scored, Gaia scored twice. I think even Ahsan Zaidi scored. So when we had those opportunities, we capitalized, which obviously led to the W for us. But obviously, it did go back and forth. They had some very nice goals. Saqib had 2 nice, shots, and then I think Huzaifa Mandra had a point blast, which went top shelf. So it was going back and forth. So it was a really fun game to play in, but at the same time, very, very balanced.
For sure. And we have Hamza Gaya here saying that the refs him dirty. He didn't get a spot on the 3 stars, which he had 2 goals, I think. So, that's a pretty big miss by the refs. But nonetheless, he had a really good game. And I think he's having a really really good season playing with Dawood and being on that second line with you and Qasim, I believe, is what kind of his goal from last week. But Yusuf, did you catch his game at all?
No, I don't think I did. Um, but yeah, Abdulaziz, do you have any advice for me? I guess because we're facing Iman, I think this week.
Um,
What should I be
honestly,
looking out for?
yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is their speed. You really need to keep those players like Bilal, Daniel, the
Mm,
Moinuddin brothers to the outside. You can't really let them just chip and blow past your defense. So that's one thing. And Kapoor's the type of goalie that, if you get a chance, you need to capitalize, else he's gonna save those shots, right? So yeah.
hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and we were able to actually beat Iman as well in week 3 or week 4, but the honestly the key is to just take a lot of shots. Like Yusuf Kapoor is a great goalie, but sometimes when there's a lot of rebounds, a goalie can only do so much. And I know in this game there were a couple of rebounds that kind of led to goals and almost goals. But I think we should actually talk about Ihsan, because these guys are sitting in first place right now. And they have what, 4 wins and 1 tie, no losses, unbeaten
Hmm.
in 5. And these guys are rolling. They have a +7 goal difference, which I believe is the highest in the league. Yeah. And all 3 lines are like rolling. These guys they're
Yeah.
rolling lines. No one's getting benched. And there's contributions coming from every line. I think last week or a couple weeks ago, Imran and Abdulaziz had a pretty big game against you, Yusuf. They had
Yeah, they were clicking from the jump. It's typical Dawood fashion. Just a really deep team with a lot of chemistry too. And yeah, we weren't really, I guess, locked in from the first face off, but they just got possession and threw one on, and they scored, and it kind of rattled us. And I think every line had one or a couple. So they're, yeah, I mean, definitely, obviously the team to watch out for so far.
Yeah, for sure. Hamza guy is saying you just gotta undress him, which reminds me we actually have a goal to show, and it was Hamza's goal. So speaking of undressing, right off the face off, he reacted quickly and went around Yusuf. So great goal, good dangle.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I think that was definitely worthy of a star. So
Yeah, for sure. That
yeah,
speed is just,
yeah, great
guy
game.
speed, that talented guy
Yeah.
speed.
It could also be maybe because Hamza is the Player of the Week sponsor. Imagine if he has
Hmm.
to shout out his own his own thing for awards. So maybe that's why they're not picking him. But yeah, nonetheless, great game from Ihsan, and Iman nearly tied at the end. I think Iman nearly tied it up. Saka, but 2 goals. Saka's been playing great this season, but yeah, I think as we have RF here, Nook Kitchen meal preps working like a charm. So yeah, everyone, it's just your sign. Get some Nook before the game. Yeah, we'll move into the third game of the evening. Me and Yusuf played in this game, but it was a 3-2 Ikhlas win over Yaqeen. Munawar Hamdani with 2 goals, first star of the game. Adam Ahmed with a goal. Uh, an absolute clapper actually on Yusuf. Like that was,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
that
that was
was
like gloves.
unexpected.
Yeah, it was high and really big clapper. He's been kind of big for us since he's come in this season. And then Mikhail Zaidi with a nice bar down goal. Like I don't even know
Beautiful.
if it went in. Like
Yeah,
we still don't know if it went in or not. But um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, great goal from Mikhail Zaidi. But yeah, this game started off very fast paced. Like
Hmm.
there were 5 goals in the first period and then nothing in the second. And yeah, you guys kind of caught us out, with the dangers of Mooney and kind of how, his skill and you got to watch out for him. And what we were trying to do is ignore one of the defensemen and put 2 guys on him, but it wasn't working clearly because he was able to get two snipes.
Yeah.
But Yusuf, what did you kind of see from the net?
Yeah, I mean, it was almost three. I mean, Quadra made a crazy glove save at the end there. But yeah, I mean, Mikhail Zaidi starting us off hot with a beautiful goal. Yeah, I mean, that was like crazy angle. Just as soon as he got it, just whipped it in the net. That definitely, got our momentum going. And then your guys' first goal was a really, really good setup, honestly. I think Maz won it, got it back to the point, and they passed it to him. He caught it out of the air, put it on his stick, and then just put it right by my blocker. So that was pretty good. And then Adams' goal. I mean, Adams' shot is weird, man. Like he's like sweeps it off the ground, and you're not expecting it, but he just places it like so perfectly. Um, so that was. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. But then we bounced back. I think we had the lead in the whole game. I don't think it was ever tied, was it? Right? I think
Yeah,
we
no,
held that league, and
it was 2-2, and then I think Mooney got the third one.
then yeah, I think Mooney got the dagger. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, defense played really well in front of me. I was able to, catch my breath and then make some big saves at the end. But yeah, it was a team win, 2 points after some rough losses. So back in the win column feels good.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we were missing like Wakar, and we were missing Abdul Wahab. So missing some guys that definitely do make the difference. But I think
Yeah.
we were honestly just kind of beating ourselves up because we felt that like we could have won this game. It's like we had a lot of shots in the first period, but none of them were like quality shots. Like a lot of them were just like I think I had like two right in front or like a couple of like one-on-ones, and I just shot it right at you.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of what we were doing. So we have a video of one of Mooney's goals. This is the game winner.
Oh, that's tough.
So yeah,
I like Sandy's celebration, the little jump.
yeah, that shot is so fast. Like I think
Yeah.
Kawaja got a piece to it, but it was that ball was going in. But yeah, Bill Aziz, did you kind of see the end of this game?
Yeah, I actually caught a good chunk of this game as well. Like when we had come out of the locker room, I was watching good. I think I stayed for the last two games, majority of them. But overall, it was a really entertaining game to watch. Like you said, that first period, like explosive back and forth offensive showcase of both teams, and then I think the second period, whatever the pep talk both of your teams gave to each other, it worked because defensively, you guys were locking each other's key players down. Like Maz had some chances that he couldn't really get a good shot off because the D had him locked or tied up his stick. Same with I know Mooney and Osman Batar like to set up that 1T, and they couldn't really get that going in the second period. So once I saw like those opportunities, getting stopped and the defense stepping up and recognizing those, I kind of knew that it was really going to come down to the wire. And I think Yakin, you guys did pull your goalie, and you had a few chances there. Adam Ahmed had like a few shots when he had that 6-on-5. So it was really entertaining to watch this game for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, shout out Maz because Mooney was like about to score on the empty net, and he ran back and dived, saved it, and then they went back the other way, and we almost scored. So yeah, really really big kind of performance from Maz. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the win, but I think it's not time to panic yet. We have 2 straight losses, but they're still by 1 goal, and I just think our forwards need to start kind of scoring because besides that game that we beat Dakwa that had a short bench, we haven't scored more than 3 in a game. So yeah, I think we got to start getting our shooting boots on. But
There
yeah,
was also this one chance in our game. I don't know if you remember, but I think Osman had it around the net. Quadra played it, and then he wrapped it around and he shot, but then someone had this someone dove and threw their stick out in the first period.
yeah.
That was man, that would have started us off, but that was a crazy play. I don't know who that. I think it might have been Adam, but that was an insane play.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, I think this was a defensive like kind of masterpiece. We have the second least amount of goals let in, or I don't know anymore, but I think it definitely is kind of something that we want to continue. Yeah, we said we have the least amount of goals allowed, just second behind Haya. But yeah, I think we can build off of it. It's not time to panic yet. Speaking of time to panic, though, we did talk about this. We did talk about this last week. Moving to the 11 o'clock game, Takwa versus Saber, 5-3 Takwa win. Takwa gets their first win of the season. Saber is now winless, I believe, with 2 losses and 3 ties. So we had Riaz and Zaid on the podcast last week, and I asked them, if you guys lose this week, what's is it going to be time to maybe make some changes and blow it up? And yeah, this was the result. So Naeem Shah, 2 goals and an assist. Great kind kind of performance this week. He was really energetic in front of the net, and he got the game-winning goal for them, like with 1 minute left. So shout out Naeem. He's been playing honestly the last 2 seasons. Naeem has been playing like monumental for his team. And I definitely know why Yusuf and Dawood and Ibrahim continue to kind of draft him and have him on the team. It's just he's a great player to have, great brother on the team, and he's been on fire the last couple of seasons. And Hamoudi with the second star, 1 goal, 2 assists. The veteran on Subber, who really kind of can play defense, can play forward, but it's when he has the ball, it's like you have confidence in your team, and he'll find a way to get it to you, and if not, he'll find a way to kind of put it on net and look for that rebound. I think Subber is they have the pieces, they're just not being able to close games. I know there were a lot of penalties in this game, some questionable calls, but I think you just gotta kind of play to the whistle and let the refs make their decisions. And Yusuf Siddiqui, 2 goals and an assist, another big performance from the TM. Abdulaziz, did you kind of catch any of this game at all?
Yeah, I actually stayed for majority of this game. Left maybe like during closer to the end of it. But I think I finally saw the taqwa, the yaqeen of last season finally come true in this taqwa team. I finally saw the Siddiqui brothers clicking with that chemistry that we saw them in the fall season. Using that speed to get those 2-on-1s and get those high percentage chances, and actually like burying those on Riaz. Unfortunately, Subber's defense did not look like they could keep up with Yusuf and Dawood and Ibrahim's chemistry. And then again, Naeem, putting on a masterpiece of a performance. So I finally see some flashes of brilliance of the Yaqeen that I saw last season now coming into Taqwa, and I'm kind of looking forward to obviously playing them tomorrow and seeing if that was just a one and done, or is this something? Was there a revamp? Was there a pep talk? Was there some sort of motivational thing that maybe this is the turning point for this Taqwa team?
Yeah, for sure. So Arif Khan here saying the unsung hero Mobeen, showed a lot of leadership, and so they have a lot of pieces on that team similar to last season. But I think these guys are getting better. It's definitely too early to write off anyone. And you guys are playing them tomorrow, so I definitely would be wary of kind of Naeem and Yusuf and the speed of the Siddiqui brothers. Like there were 2 goals, I think, and you saw like Ibrahim Siddiqui and Yusuf Siddiqui passing to each other.
Yep.
Yusuf tapping it in on both goals. But really it shows the speed and danger of their breakout. With that, we would like to also highlight the player of the week for this week. So this week's player of the week is I'm hoping this video will play. Sorry about that, guys. This week's player of the week is Naeem Shah with 2 goals and an assist. It's his first player of the week award for this week. Really big shout out to him, really key for his team. And I'm hoping we can play his video. I don't know, it's not loading, but we'll just wait. Yusuf, did you catch the last game at all?
Yeah, I did, and I think ultimately it's Subber's back check that needs work. I saw 1 goal that it wasn't on. I mean, it wasn't on Riaz at all. But here's the video, I guess.
No worries. We can talk about it and we'll play it after. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of saw Riaz at the end getting a little frustrated at the forwards, and the defense for not really back checking and then just leaving him out to dry. And I seen that in games prior to, and then also in our game. That's how we were able to capitalize a couple times. Mooney and Osman would be able to just kind of go down the wings unopposed and just set up that tic-tac-toe. I think they have some players that are obviously like really really high caliber, and they have some players that are a little newer to hockey. So it's kind of finding that middle ground is, I think, a challenge of theirs, because you'll see people like Xavier Panchpaya, who's an amazing full A caliber guy, try to make all these step plays, but a lot of people don't have that same hockey IQ, so they can't really match it, and that turns into a lot of turnovers. So I think they just kind of, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing.
No, for sure.
On back checking, just a little bit of everything at this point.
Yes, we can see Naeem's goal here. Yeah, another one off the first half. Percy to Bilal, Clapper, and then Naeem just cleaning up the rebound. So
Yeah,
this guy, yeah, this guy's dangerous in front of the net. He's like a rebound king. I think he had 20 points in like 8 games last season.
yeah.
So
Yakin last season dismantled us 7-1. I think their game against us was 7-1, and I think Naim had like three or four, maybe even five. One of them was like that. One of them was high slot, sniped it like top cheddar. But yeah, he's really good in every every inch of the rink. He's just got a spot and he'll
yeah,
make
for
it.
sure. And we have Arif Khan saying that people showed up on time, they're ready to go, and that was kind of the key to win. So honestly, guys, AO, you guys have a whole week to prepare for your game. Please come on time. Like, it's doing your team a disservice to come late and come in the middle of the thing and rejig lines and stuff. But yeah, come on, guys. Like, you're seeing these guys come on time and finally get that win. So yeah, first one of the books. And okay, there we have the video from Naeem loaded, so we'll just take a little watch.
Yeah, like Habibi says, game starts in the locker room.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank the referees for nominating me Player of the Week, and to our sponsor, Nook's Vibrant Kitchens, for their halal meals. As for how the game went, it was really close until the last couple of minutes. Sabres is a great team with many talented players, but penalties caught up with them near the end. Our team has been battling injuries all season long, which shows in our record. But with majority of us there last Friday, we converted on some of our key chances. We still have ways to go to climb the standings, but with Ramadan around the corner, it's a much needed break for regaining our physical health, but more importantly, focusing on our spiritual health. With that being said, I'll see you all this Friday, and I'm gonna finish my midnight snack. Assalamu alaikum.
Nice.
Oh yeah, nice video. I was wondering where the video was going because he was giving us a fridge tour, but yeah, midnight snack. He deserved it, man. He came up clutch for
Yeah.
his team, and yeah, we have Hamza guy here saying why isn't he eating Eat Nook? So I think the player of the week should get like a box delivered to their house so that they can do like a food review in their player of the week video. But yeah, big game for him. And yeah, with that, we'll take a look at the standings. So through 5 games of the season, we sit with Ihsan in first place, undefeated. Haya in second place on a 3-game win streak. Ikhlas in third place. After that win over Yakin, they jumped 2 spaces. Iman winless in the last 3, who sit at 5 points and in fourth place. And then Yakin lost to who sit in fifth place. And then the last playoff spot, Rida, is in, with 3 points in sixth place. And then at the bottom 2, Sabr and Taqwa, 3 points for Sabr, 2 points for Taqwa. So this was a pretty big game for Taqwa because they close the gap with Sabr to 1 point, but Sabr is tied on points with Rida and only 1 point behind Yakin. So it's definitely, I don't think it's time for them to necessarily panic, but maybe a 1-2 player trade right now with another team that's kind of maybe above them in the standings, that's trying to get some more depth players, could be the answer to them to maybe just close out games. Maybe it's finding a defenseman that's able to kind of keep it down, lockdown defenseman, or it's maybe trading one of their veterans to get back some younger guys in return. So I think teams are still definitely open up for business this season. But yeah, what are you guys' kind of thoughts on how the season's played out so far?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of trades, I think Taqwa, I know a couple guys in Taqwa. I know they were thinking of making some moves, but I think now that they got a win and a pretty good win, without even their main goalie in net. I think now they're maybe starting to gel a little better. Maybe they're going to wait it out a couple weeks, maybe after the Ramadan break. I think Sabr might be scrambling a little more. Obviously, they're still ahead of Tuckwa points wise, but I know that loss was a big blow. I was driving back with Hassan Ridwan, who were both on Sabr, and I was just smiling, taking it in. Winning that game after two losses, and they were just kind of really frustrated. So, if they're Sabr GMs are probably hitting the phones a little more, and then yeah, that's kind of my thoughts so far.
For sure. How
Yeah,
about Aziz? Is it lonely at the
yeah.
top?
No, absolutely not. I think we got the likes of Ikhlas and Haya. Well, especially Haya, they're right on the tail, and I think we play them next week. So every game before the break for us is crucial to keep that first seed. I think for us, for to like talk about I think in terms of the standings, the latter half of the standings is really tight. So like you go from I think from Iman and you go all the way down, it's anyone can take it really, right? There's no one has really pulled away in this in the race before the break, right? So I think you just have to see if one of these teams can swing a win one of the ways, like if Taqwa or if Sabr gets a W tomorrow, they're right back in the conversation. They just catapult to 5 or 4 depending on the results. So maybe yeah, they need to start thinking of what they're lacking in Sabr, and I don't think Rida would really do trades, but I think Sabr is probably shopping like Yusuf said. Maybe they're shopping with the likes of Iman. Zayd and Mac are talking about what to swap and see for both of their respective teams and go from there. Or maybe they're trying to deal with someone at the top to get a piece from maybe Ihsan or Ikhlas or Haya and trade up, for the skill. But I think it's not lonely at the top for sure. We're not taking this for granted. We're just taking it one game at a time, just making sure that we play our game, follow what our leaders on the team tell us, and try to get a W every time.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing to notice though, like look at Haya. These guys are in second place, 8 points. They have the least amount of goals allowed, but they also have the least amount of goals scored. Like they have 10 goals. They're averaging 2 goals a game. But their goaltending and their defense is so tight that it's teams can't get through. Like every single
Yeah.
game is a 1 goal, 2 goal win. And it seems to be working for them. But I think along the way, they're gonna need to start scoring more because for example, an injury comes, or a couple players aren't available for a game, and they're stuck with, they had a really, really solid defense core, and they were able to win games by scoring 1 or 2 goals. But, now when their defense is kind of shaky, they're gonna need some more offense. So, I think Altaf, I think Ryan, Suf, Salim, kind of are gonna need to kind of start scoring a bit more, and I think it's a good problem to have when you're sitting in second place, but there's definitely still room for improvement. Likewise, like I think for us and Yakin, I think we also got to start taking our chances more. Like, I think we hit the post like a couple of times against Ikhlas, and I know the game before against Ihsan. And it's just not capitalizing on those chances is definitely costing us because it becomes like that 1 goal at the end, or like that 1 goal that squeaks by to be the winner. Yeah, that's definitely kind of something to work on for
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the last point that I obviously did want to add, which is a reflection on our team that we've noticed, is, and I think Riaz had mentioned this in last week's podcast, is you really need your depth to step up. When your leaders or like your top picks are getting locked down because other teams know their caliber. When that depth starts scoring, that's when you really start to win games, and I think that's what's really worked for us this season. We've been given those opportunities by our GMs, and we've capitalized on those, which has reflected, very positively for us.
yeah, honestly,
Mhm.
really, really kind of good season so far. On like literally any team can take it. Like we saw last season, fifth place Rida ended up winning the whole thing. Definitely could be the same case this season. So, yeah, we'll move into kind of
Are you saying that because you're in fifth right now, Abdullah?
yeah, man.
Is
So
it gonna be?
yeah, speaking of the games tomorrow, For everybody that isn't coming to the game, you better have a good excuse. I know it's Valentine's Day, but come on, guys. Like, everyone, come out to the hangar and then go do whatever you have to do. So, yeah, definitely. First game of the night, Rida at Yakin. Um, we haven't really had a good look at Rida this season because I think all of our games are on opposites. Like, every time that we have an 11 o'clock game, they have an 8 o'clock game, and every time that we have an 8 o'clock game, they have an 11 o'clock game. So yeah, we haven't seen much of Rida, but kind of just based off how the season has gone, I don't think they've had the best attendance. But I definitely think that once all the players are there, like Abu Mandra, Ayaz, the rest of their Palace team, they definitely are kind of forced to be reckoned with. And yeah, let's just hope that we, as Yakin, can kind of lock down their speedy younger forwards like Muaz and Shazabe and stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, honestly think that we can, I'm hoping that we can take the win. But I think if we lose this one, we'll be on a 3-game losing streak, and maybe it's time for us to maybe panic a little bit. But yeah, who do you guys kind of see winning this matchup?
For me,
Um,
Yusuf, you want to go?
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, for me, I think it will be very evenly matched because both teams have very good defense and they're both very balanced in that defensive core. I think it will really come down to, like we've been saying this whole season, Rida's attendance, and if that plays a factor, can Yakin capitalize in those early minutes when Rida's lacking those attendance? If they can, obviously it'll shift towards them. If Rida somehow, for some reason, tomorrow they all show up on time and they're ready to go, then I could see it being ending in like a probably in like a 2-2 tie, I'll say.
Damn, 2-2 tie. What about you, Yusuf?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it'll definitely be close. I mean, these guys battled to the end, even when we smoked them 9-3. I mean, Ayaz still had two on me, two really good shots too, and they're already down by so much at that point. Some people would have been like, "Wow, what's the point of even trying?" But they battled to the end. They have really good chemistry. Obviously, being on Bully's hands are, you got to watch out for him. But I think Ali Quadri will be able to lock him down. So yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be close. Um, I don't think it's gonna be too high of a scoring game, but and I don't think whoever wins, I don't think you'll win by more than one. So it's close. I think that might be one of the games of the night because I mean that'll highly impact the standings. I mean, if Rida wins, they jump to fourth. If Iman loses, and then if Yakin wins, they jump to third. They potentially take our spot and we move down. So you know, and I mean that's the case with a lot of teams because it's still kind of the points are kind of even pretty close between like the bottom three and the top three. So this could be one of the games of the evening.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I got a score. Like, after that, my player of the week, I haven't even gotten like a proper shot on goal. So I definitely got to start scoring. And
Yeah, I can't lie
um,
though. You hit my chest a couple of times and warmed me up, and then I was able to
yeah,
kind of get the other one. So
yeah. My apologies to my team, man. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not scoring as much as I want to be. But yeah, inshallah, I'll be able to get a couple. So moving into the second game of the evening, it's Sabr at Haya. Sabr, who's winless this season. Haya, who's in second place on a 3-game win streak. Haya, I believe, is going to still be missing Rayan Khawaja and
yeah,
potentially Altaf. So yeah, I think if Haya can play the way they played against Rida, I think Haya wins this game 9 times out of 10. Like, they're so good defensively as long as all their defensemen are there.
Mhm.
And maybe, like, I know they had a backup goalie last week with Rehan, but even with Josefa Mahida, he's been playing really, really good this season. Like, he's led in 5 goals in 4 games. So, less than every other goalie. So I think Haya will take this one unless Sabr can find a way to break down their defense. And I know they have the pieces too, like Josefa Panchpaya. That guy's a great player. Pulik Salam Cup kind of caliber player and a leader
yeah.
on their team. And you can see even when things weren't going their way, like he was trying to encourage his team. So I definitely think that Sabr has what it takes. They gotta find it and they gotta do it soon before kind of teams smell blood. Because I think the minute that they score one, some guys hang their heads, and then once teams smell blood, they kind of go for it. So it'll be interesting to see kind of
Um,
if Haya can kind of get their scoring up, or if Sabr can kind of break down Haya, which we haven't seen any team really just do that this season. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very hard battle for Sutter. Because Haya's got obviously that Haya hustle, but now this year they're a different look with some more speed. Before you didn't really prioritize speed as much as they did chemistry and kind of grit. But now they're still kind of that mullet clan. They're still really hard against the boards. Still got guys like Sufyan Sheikh that are going to screen you. And then they also got speed with guys like Ahmed Wasif, who also has a great shot. Altaf if he shows up. Ray, who's not going to be there, but I think with a full lineup, it's a very one-sided game for Suber for Haya. But now that they're gonna might be missing a couple key guys, this is Suber's chance to capitalize and then kind of make a statement in the league. I think everyone's kind of written them off. But it can either be a blowout or it can be a chance for Suber to show that they're still alive and kicking.
For sure, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, I think this game for me the key X factors will be both of the goaltending battle. Will like Riaz be able to replicate some of the stellar performances that we've seen him, or will Huzaifa Mahida continue his strong performance carrying Hayat to another victory? So I think it will really come down to the goaltending, and again, it will really come down to each team's respective decor. So if Suburbs Decor plays up to their potential, because we know there is that potential of Huzaifa Panchbaya, Farouk Khan, Ridwan Ali. We know they have the potential to be one of those legitimate decors that produce. Will they be able to capitalize? I would like to see that from the Suburb decor, taking those point shots that we know they have and capitalizing on Mahida if possible. But if they're not able to do that, then I think it will go Haya's way because they do have, like we've been saying, they have the chemistry with Suf, Amir, Salim, etc. So I kind of Rizwan Malik, so I kind of see it, maybe swinging their way. But I really do want to see Suburbs D put on a showcase tomorrow if they get those opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Yusuf, moving into your game, you guys play Iman. A speedy team, Mohideen brothers, Daniel Sayed, some really good kind of forwards on their end. What is your kind of key going into this game, knowing kind of how speedy these guys are?
I mean, they're winless in three. We just won after two pretty hard losses. So, I think both of us are trying to, we're trying to maintain we're trying to keep that win streak going. We're trying to start a win streak and they're trying to, break their losing streak. So it's going to be a hard battle to the end. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people watching these, 10 and 9 o'clock games. There's always a bit of a crowd, so it's going to be exciting. But I mean, I think just for my defense to keep everyone to the outside. I mean, I play with a number of these guys, especially the Mohadeens, and Mohamed Claire too. He's got a good shot. The Mohadeens are probably the fastest guys, some of the fastest guys in the league. I personally haven't been too hot on shootouts so far. Two of them came from the Haya game. So just keeping those fast guys to the outside. Um, and just playing our game, locking down the point. Our game's gotten us this far, so just matching them and just having that first line dominate like they do.
For sure, Abdulaziz, what are your thoughts on you guys just played Iman, so what's gonna be the outcome here?
I think the X factor this game is the top players for both teams. We obviously know there's chemistry between Wadi, Batar, Mooney, and then we know obviously the Moinuddin brothers as a line itself have undoubted chemistry. So which line will be able to capitalize on the other team's goalie is what I'm looking forward to looking at. Um, will Osman Batar and Manawar Hamdani continue that 1T connection with Wadi QBing them, or will it be the Moinuddin and their speed taking advantage of Ikhlas's decor and maybe going for those 2-on-1 breakouts and using that speed and the speed of their general team overall to their advantage to get those high percentage scoring chances.
For sure. And in the last game of the evening, Abdulaziz, this is your game, so I'll let you start. But you guys go up against Taqwa, who got their first win of the season last week. So yeah, what do you how do you think this game's gonna play out?
Obviously, I think this is we're looking forward to it because none of the teams all the teams that we've played have been very balanced. Any team could have taken a result the other way than when we played them. So we're not taking them lightly just because, they're at the bottom of the standing. For us, it's obviously, containing the Siddiqui brothers, depending on who comes out tomorrow. And then obviously with Naeem's performance, keeping an eye on him. We know they have the likes of RC and Yusuf Zaidi. I know Arif might not be there, but you still have those offensive weapons on that team. So we're keeping an eye on them. We know what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to really contain that speed, prevent those 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, and just keep them to the outside. So for us, it'll probably be a defense first game. Keep that mentality of let's focus, lock down that D, and then those chances in the offensive zone will come, and we'll capitalize on those.
For sure. And yeah, I don't know if Yusuf will be playing. Like, I think one of the brothers got an injury. I think it was Yusuf, but I'm not sure. I saw them
Okay.
saw them limping off after the game last
Yeah.
week. But
Yeah, I
know,
think it was Yusuf.
them get well soon. Inshallah, they kind of make a speedy recovery. Same with Mufti, who is battling an injury right now as well. So you never want to see anyone go down and get injured. But hopefully they'll be back kind of during the season and able to help their team kind of move up in the playoffs. With that, we just before we finish, we just want to highlight that the media team is recruiting. We're looking for a graphic designer that has Photoshop experience, a photographer, and for our video editor, we're hoping to find maybe like someone that is willing to do it. It is a paid role. So definitely reach out to us and helping us kind of make highlight reels, make kind of more content with our goals. And lastly, a podcast panelist. So please DM us, message us on WhatsApp if you are interested. And just a reminder for the Nook Kitchen contest. Please, I'll send out the link in the league WhatsApp, but it's also in the chat here. You can win a FT7 Pro stick. So just fill out your name and email address and information. And winner will be selected randomly. So with that, any final words, Yusuf Abdulaziz?
Should be an exciting week at the hands as usual.
For sure.
Yeah, I think all the games tomorrow, they have implications as we're getting closer to that Ramadan break. So I'm looking forward to watching them. And best of luck to everyone playing tomorrow.
For sure. So with that, guys, Assalamualaikum, guys. We'll we'll call it a day. So jazakallah, guys.